Hey guys, welcome back to the Joshly channel.
I'm JoJo.
I'm Ashley.
So yeah, if you guys have been following our Instagram posts or Instagram stories, you'll see that we've been posting about Home Chef, and it's technically like a food subscription where you subscribe to it weekly, and they give you meals depending on how many you choose. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that today.
They also have different types and for different
which
dietary options.
Which we'll discuss once we go further into it. Anyways, so we had it for about 2 weeks now. So we're just gonna kind of go through what we've tried so far with them. Because I made a little handy dandy binder for it. So when we first got it,
she tries to be organized.
I try because it drives me crazy. So when we first got it, this was the first meal we had. It was the chicken gyro.
Do you guys pronounce it gyro or gyro?
It's gyro.
Or gyro.
Oh, maybe it's gyro. You know what? I don't know. I may be pronouncing it wrong.
I just want to know how you guys pronounce it.
This was amazing. The mixture of the chicken, the tomatoes, the lettuce, and then it came with like this really cool like sour cream buttermilk dill like sauce, which you mix yourself. It was good, pretty good. You said it was 5 out of 5 stars.
No, I was gonna say if I remember correctly. So the what is it? The bread.
It was a naan.
There we go.
So they gave us a naan bread.
It was nice and fluffy, and I love naan.
Yeah.
But when it's paired with like really good food, I just love it even more. It's like you're eating a cloud.
Anywho, so our next one was this one, the Tuscan chicken linguine. And for someone who cooks, I suck at making pasta or cooking pasta. So Ashley cooked the pasta, and then I pretty much cooked the rest. This was pretty good.
It had a lot of spinach.
I like spinach. She doesn't like spinach. So for her, it was like a 3 out of 5 because she doesn't like spinach. But I thought it was like a 5 out of 5.
However, I don't know if you remember me saying this, but even with the spinach, it was still really good. Just the next time we make it, I will probably put less spinach. But that's just my preference.
Anyway, so she made the pasta. I made the rest of that Tuscan chicken linguine. So our third day, we had meatloaf with Brussels sprouts. Now, I make my own meatloaf from scratch, and I usually don't pick Brussels sprouts as like my first choice, but it was weird, like paired with the meatloaf and the Brussels sprout, it actually came out pretty good.
Yeah, I was blown away by how much I liked this.
Although granted, we weren't a fan of that cheddar mashed potato.
No. It wasn't,
I think it was that sour cream.
it wasn't bad, but it wasn't necessarily good either. But I still like your meatloaf like way better.
So, and so technically for the last 2 weeks we've picked 6 meals per week, because we also had a discount code.
Thanks, Sean.
Anyways, so on our 4th day, we had the cheddar and crispy potato crusted chicken. How did you feel about this one?
This one I put a 5 out of 5, but I don't.
Yes, I remember. Okay,
why.
so I had the roasted veggies, and because I love.
This was with the butternut squash.
Yes, because I love butternut squash, and this was the butternut squash, and it was with the poblano pepper. Remember, and then you were kind of iffy about the potato sticks.
Yeah.
But then the potato sticks actually came out really well because it was like on top of cheese and all that good
It kind
stuff.
of just worked really well together.
Although I will tell you, it says crispy potato, but it was actually just like probably Ruffle chips, like chopped up,
I mean, crushed up.
crushed up, because that's what it tasted like. It tasted like Ruffles, like original Ruffles. A little bit of stale.
I will say something that
original
I
Ruffles.
appreciate is doing meals this way has gotten me to eat a lot more veggies than I usually do, which is obviously a huge bonus because veggies are healthy for you, and I'm trying to be healthier.
Anyways, so I believe we're on our 5th day, right? Our 5th day, on the first week, 5th day, we did the Chipotle lime cheesesteak sandwich with fajita fries. Now, Ashley and I eat steak, but Ashley doesn't eat steak, so I switched it to chicken. So that's something that I was going to talk to you guys about, is that the great thing about Home Chef is that you can actually customize your meat. So if you don't eat certain meats, they actually have a customization section that allows you to actually choose what kind of meat you want to go with it. Now, some of them actually, if you choose, there is an extra charge. But you don't have to choose those. You can choose the ones that aren't extra charge. So like for this one, I think they offered, they had offered steak strips, Beyond Sausage, hot Italian links. They had organic boneless skinless chicken breast or diced boneless skinless chicken breast. So I picked the diced boneless skinless chicken breast because the organic one was like an extra like dollar charge.
Which kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. I also do like that on the recipe cards that it gives you all that information. So like if you really like it but want to try it in a different way,
Yeah.
you have that information.
And then what's
still.
cool about it is that, so let's say like I picked a different meat. So on the back right here, they actually tell you like cooking instructions for the different meats you choose. So that way you're not struggling to try to figure out how you're supposed to do it with the different meats.
And I don't know why, but I already love fries, but home cooked fries are like
I like them crispy,
really
so
good.
we had to like crisp it more. But anyways, so on the last day of the first week, the 6th meal, we did the 4th.
You didn't go into detail on how you liked the burger though, with the chicken.
Oh, it was good. It was good.
Okay.
Well, you know me.
I thought
if
it
it's
was really
cheesesteak, I would prefer it to be steak, but
I thought it was really good. Like, really good.
I think one thing that I wish they would do is half and half. Like, let's say, like, for this one, the cheesesteak, I would have preferred steak. So I would have preferred to pick half chicken, half steak. Although that's, like, more work for them, so.
So you're saying, like, depending on the, because you can choose how many people you're trying to feed with the meal. So I think what you're trying to say is, for instance, we told them we're feeding 2 people, 1 portion you wanted steak and 1 chicken.
Yeah. But again, I think that would be more work for them. So on the last day, the 6th day of the first week, Ashley made the 4 cheese baked ziti with garlic ciabatta.
And spinach.
So this is the one where she felt like she put too much spinach in it.
I didn't feel like it. I put too many.
No, so it actually came with
a whole bag of spinach.
5 ounces of spinach, and she probably only made like half an ounce of it.
No, I did the half bag.
No, you actually didn't, because I ate the rest of it. Anyways.
The pasta was really good, though.
So, well, that's because you made the pasta. You're the pasta queen. Now we're going to go into our second week. So the second week, we picked 6 meals again. So our first meal was the chicken. I don't know how to pronounce it.
How do you guys pronounce it? Chicken.
How do you
Kiev
pronounce
chicken.
that? But that's what it was. Granted, we aren't a big fan of fried foods, especially fried chicken.
Those green beans, though, were really good.
Yes, those green beans were good. I will say that garlic butter on the chicken was amazing.
Yeah.
That made it work.
Yeah, but the breading and the fried chicken part, yeah. Like, the chicken tasted good. It all tasted really good. But the texture for me, it was just...
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the second day we did smoky barbecue bacon chicken thigh tacos with cheddar cheese. It's a really long name, but it looks like this. So my mistake was I totally forgot that I had customized this meal. Instead of chicken thighs, I had switched it out for diced chicken breasts. So when we got it, we got chicken thighs. Not Home Chef's fault. My fault. And I'll explain it to you when we get to that meal.
We'll explain once we get to the later meal.
Yeah,
but the tacos were still really good. We omitted the bacon.
Yeah. I wasn't that big of a fan of it. I'm not a fan of... Like, if you're gonna mix culture foods, do it right. For me, I felt like there was too much barbecue. I'm not used to...
I love barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
So it was
I'm not used to barbecue and tacos. I'm a all natural taco. Street taco.
Also, something I was gonna say is this is towards Home Chef. I kind of wish they would give the option for omitting items on the website to choose, because
so
then
it's not a waste. Yeah, because we didn't eat the bacon. We're not bacon people. I mean, if you customize it to chicken, obviously there's a reason, because you don't eat beef or pork or fish or whatever. I don't know. That was just me kind of playing on with your... Okay, anyways. So the third day, we did crunchy beet and almond crusted chicken with garlic, herb, and pea risotto. And this was good. I omitted the beets and the almonds because almonds is like tomato. Anyways, I omitted those, which means I took them out because I actually tried the beets before I put them on the chicken. And, if you've ever had beets, those were beets. Alright, so,
in my opinion,
on the fourth day,
when we made this meal.
Wait, let me show. Crispy chicken with broccoli, cheddar, mac and cheese with green onions.
Now, the first thing, I don't know if you guys caught it. It does say crispy chicken, and we already said we don't do fried foods, so that includes crispy chicken.
But I have a thing because I learned I learned it from school, but I also it kind of like engraved into me. Always study the recipes before you make them, so I always study it the day before. I was trying to tell her when they say crispy, they don't mean like crunchy crispy. They just mean like it's mixed with cornstarch, and so it's got a little bit of the texture, but not the actual like.
Anyway, long story short, Kraft Mac and Cheese now has a tie for my favorite mac and cheese.
Yay, Home Chef! Oh, and me.
Yeah.
Because I made it.
Yeah. Well.
Yes.
Nope. They already made the pasta.
Yep.
Yeah. This
was all me.
Yeah. I was blown away. So I've, over the years, tried to become more open-minded when it comes to food. Because when her and I first got together, I was extremely picky. A lot of fast food, a lot of unhealthy everything. Anyway, so this mac and cheese, I was blown away by the fact that not only I liked it, but I liked it enough that I really do consider it now tied with my Kraft Mac and Cheese.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Okay. So, yesterday, we had fajita beef skillet with pico de gallo. Now, this one actually supposed to come with ground beef, but I didn't realize that Ashley would be okay with ground beef, so I actually customized it. I don't know. I mean, the fact that we had meatloaf and my brain just didn't connect two and two. Anyway, so I had actually changed it to diced chicken thighs.
Did you catch that?
Anyways, let me show you the meal real quick. It's so pretty. Anyways, so I was supposed to, I had customized it to diced chicken thighs. Well, we actually have a meal that was supposed to be diced chicken thighs, but I had changed it to diced skinless chicken breasts. So, my mistake was using the thighs for the tacos instead
Because
of
it
the
said
fajitas.
thighs.
And then realizing, oh no,
Oh no!
oh no. Anyways, I realized that I made a big boo-boo and that I had used the chicken thighs for the tacos. So I used the diced chicken breasts for the fajita. And I mean, to be honest, it didn't come out any different. It was still really, really good.
Like so much
So-
that I highly recommend this one.
I honestly have no complaints. Oh, except for one. That cheesy mashed potato.
Yeah, but that wasn't part of this meal.
Oh, okay. But I'm just saying, out of the 2 weeks,
Oh. Yeah.
that cheesy
Well, okay, so
potato.
let's give our recommendations. Ow.
So
Trying to
Well-
push me away for.
So, I would definitely say yes to this.
Yeah.
That one was a good one.
Recommend. I would recommend
This one, minus cheesy mashed
Yeah.
potato. If you're gonna make mashed potatoes,
that. Just make it from scratch.
don't use the small yellow potatoes. Use the regular potatoes, please. Or at least don't put, I think they put sour cream in it. Just don't put sour cream in it.
No, but see, I like my mashed potatoes with sour cream.
Oh no, it
I
was
think
cream
I
cheese.
wanted-
It was cream cheese. It was cream
Yes,
cheese.
okay.
Yeah, cream cheese. Please don't put cream cheese.
Yeah, it
That's
made it
weird.
re-
Sour cream, yes. Cream cheese, no.
Yeah.
Sour cream, yes. Cream cheese, no.
Because they also did, wasn't it cheddar cheese that they used for that one? So it was cream cheese and cheddar cheese plus the yellow mashed potatoes, and those, it was just a really thick combination.
I'm gonna say yes to this.
Recommend.
I think for you, it'd just be minus the spinach, right?
But it was really good besides the
'Cause
spinach.
you're not a spinach. You're not a spinach gal. Choppa, 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 choppa,
What was
choppa.
next? Both of those.
So Ashley
For me.
recommends this one
You liked it, but not enough to recommend.
because the thing is, trying to get bang for your buck. I don't think this is worth it. Bang for. That sounds
Anyway.
weird. I wonder where that phrase came from. Anyways, I don't think it's worth it because it felt very
Quality.
plain. Because it, without the beets and the almond coupon. Without those, it just seemed really plain because it was just chicken breast with risotto. So
I think that's why I liked it though, because it was simple but really good.
yeah, not this. However, we are recommending yes 100%. If you ever run into it, please buy it because it's super delicious. That's my little song for you.
It was lovely.
And this one too.
I also recommend this.
I also recommend this one.
Although, Home Chef could chill on the extra ingredients because there was a lot of people.
No. It's because they said to half the tomato, and then instead of me halving the tomato, because, I mean,
Oh, you
those
had
were
quartered
huge
it.
tomatoes. Even though they gave me grape tomatoes, they said half the tomato, and I said, okay, so I half the
Cherry
tomato.
tomatoes?
No, it's grape tomatoes.
Oh.
So I half the tomato, but then it ended up being bigger than the diced onions. Now, what I learned in school...
There was also a lot of diced onion though.
Because they were supposed to only give me 1 onion, but they gave me 2 onions.
And did you use 2? instead
I
of one?
used 1 full onion for 1, and then... But I mean, it was good. You have
No,
to...
it was really
yeah,
good,
so
but-
exactly.
It was just a lot.
Granted, I ate most of it, so you can't. Okay. Anyways, so you're probably wondering, well, what about your sixth meal? Well, our sixth meal was supposed to be for today, but we're doing the video first, and then we're gonna go cook it. And it's supposed to be this cheesy roasted red pepper lasagna skillet with pesto, ricotta, and spinach. Now, Ashley don't like spinach, so I'm probably gonna try to make that separate and then just mix it into mine.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I kept telling you to do that. Anyway, so that's what it is. So on here, it actually tells me to slice the red pepper and then put it on a pan, but I'm actually going to just roast it over the fire because that's technically how they do it. They actually roast them over the fire. So it gives it a better taste to it. So that's what I'm going to do instead because it's also more fun. Although I did want to do it outside in my fire pit. But it's okay. Because I also learned how to do it on a stove. Open fire. Anyway, so another thing I wanted to talk about with Home Chef, which is super awesome, that I absolutely love. I was going to say love and like at the same time, and it came out to life. That I also love. And I can definitely say this because we've tried... I want to say 3 companies now when it comes to food subscriptions. But one of their biggest thing is the customization of the meat. And when they send it to you, it comes in a little bag. So instead of them throwing all the ingredients for like all the meals into a box, they actually bag them. Like all the ingredients you get right here, they actually put them in a bag for you.
Like they're in their own little packaging. But all the little
into a bigger
are in like a little tote bag.
Yeah. And the great thing is you just grab that bag and all your ingredients are in there. And all you have to do is just figure out what your meat is. And the great thing is that they actually tell you how many ounces of meat is in it so you're not trying to figure out which meat is to go to which. Because they also tell you what other kind of meats come in it.
I mean, could come in it.
Could come in it. And come in it. Because they also add the... Okay. Anyways, another great thing about it... So that was my second great thing is that they put them in bags.
Mm-hmm.
My third great thing about it is that they actually have 4 different kinds of meals that you can choose from. So they have what they call...
Types.
4 different types. 4 different types of meals. So they have one that's called the classic meal kit. And then they have one that's called the 15 minutes meal kit. Granted, yes, it may take you a little longer than 15 minutes. It's okay, but it's supposed to be shorter than like 40 to an hour, 30 to 45 minute cooking time. And then they have one that's called oven ready, which is freaking awesome because what they do is they actually give you this pan right here in your package. And all you have to do is just put it all into that pan and throw it in the oven and your meal is done.
This may sound silly, but what I liked about it is they still walked you through the process of putting the ingredients together to put in your pan to put in the oven.
Yeah.
That's what I liked. Because I'm kind of really dumb when it comes to the kitchen.
You're not dumb when it comes to kitchen.
Like, I appreciate it.
You're just not used
savvy?
to it. Well, yeah, I was trying to think of another word for savvy. So anyways, there's a 4th choice, which is called Fresh and Easy. And pretty much what it is the meal is already made. It's sent to you, and all you have to do is just pop it into the microwave, the oven, or whatever. So it's pretty much like the oven ready, but instead of all the ingredients being raw, your ingredients are already cooked.
And it's literally, like, in its thing.
So we haven't actually tried that one yet. But one of these weeks, we are actually getting one. And I think it's chicken Alfredo, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember.
I think it's chicken Alfredo. But
just look out for the Instagram post.
Yeah.
For that one.
So we'll constantly be posting.
I will try to keep up with it.
Our meals. At least try to. Either Insta story it or every day. If you see a post about it, it's because it's our exceptional, yes, you must try this.
Well,
recipe.
I've tried to post every one of them, while also kind of giving little hints as to how much we like it.
I know, but you really
Or,
made
like-
one for that mac and cheese.
Yeah, because it was worth it.
So
It deserved its own, like, yeah.
So yeah, anyways, so if you guys, I would definitely recommend giving Home Chef a try. I know not a lot of people give a lot of reviews, enough reviews for companies like this. So I just wanted to point
That are,
out,
like, true and honest.
Yeah.
And this, like, they actually, so far, from what we've experienced for the 2 weeks, I feel like they really deserve a good review.
and they have an app, which is freaking awesome because you can actually go into the app and choose your meals instead of always constantly go onto like the web browser. You could just download their app and do all that.
Anyway, so we do highly recommend Home Chef and highly recommend those meals that we brought up, especially re-brought up.
Anyway, so like and subscribe, guys. I know we're weird, but it's us.
We're happy to have you if you've stuck around this long.
So have a good Sunday, and we will see you next Sunday. Bye.
Right.
Okay, so like a quarter of the bag. She made like a quarter of the bag. No, you didn't. You made a quarter of the bag because my whole pan was filled with spinach. Anyways,
There's a lot of spinach.
so when she was done, I ate the rest of the spinach because I grew up eating all kinds of veggies. I was not
Well, I
picky.
didn't not grow up with veggies. I just grew up not being forced to eat my veggies. And supposedly
I wasn't
used
forced.
Supposedly
I wasn't forced. I enjoyed I enjoyed it.
Supposedly I used to enjoy my spinach.
Wow.
Like, my mom and grandma tell me all the time that I used to love spinach.
That's surprising.
I think it was mainly because of Popeye.
Popeye the Sailor Man. Boop boop. Wow, my voice cracked. Did you hear it?
Do you want to try it again?
No.
I was wondering why you didn't put them on, because she loves beets. Fresh beets.
I've never had dry beets that taste like that. I was
Well, there
scared.
was probably some kind of preservative.
I don't know. I've had beet chips. They didn't taste like that.
That's true, you have.
So, I
When
just...
I say she really likes beets, it's like,
Yeah, like when we go
Weird.
to those buffets, well now they don't have them anymore, but when we used to go to buffets, like Soup Plantation or something, and they had like fresh beets,
just like stacks.
I-
of them.
they're good for you, they're healthy.
I mean, everything can be healthy to a point.
Would you like to explain to them about your mac and cheese?
So, growing up, we both were kind of on the road a lot, but your parents handled it differently than mine did. I grew up with a mother who struggled in feeding us. Anyway, long story short, when it comes to mac and cheese, it's my all-time favorite meal. However,
It's Kraft.
I am obsessed with Kraft mac and cheese. I will only eat Kraft mac and cheese.
If only they'll sponsor us.
Like throughout my whole life, and we're talking almost 30 years now, everyone, family, friends, acquaintances, school, teachers, everyone has tried to recommend or make me some version of mac and cheese, saying,
I was there for 5 years of that.
needless to say, they were trying to convince me to eat something else besides Kraft mac and cheese, and it was just never the same. I mean, they weren't all terrible, but a good majority, it just not. I love my Kraft mac and cheese. But when it came to my mac and cheese, it never changed.
came from.
Are you blaming me for... It wasn't.
No one's gonna hear that.
It was not all me. Anyway, yeah, I was really blown away.
I have dimples.
You're not just realizing that, are you?
I really am. Unfortunately, I don't like looking at myself. I don't stand in front of a mirror and go, "Hey there, pretty lady. Check yourself out."
We're gonna go ahead and come back to that because there's a whole lot of self-love that needs to be discovered.
No, I self-love. I just don't stand in the mirror like Johnny Bravo. Hey there, pretty mama.
Anyway, so
I don't know why you don't like Johnny Bravo. He likes Elvis. He was based off of Elvis.
I understand that. You tell me this all the time. Elvis is still nothing. No one can.
Obviously. Spudding roll.
Sarabading-ro. It gets worse and worse.
If you're thinking about money for your buck for your money for your buck, money for your buck. Anyways, if we're trying to think about like
more bang for your buck.
bang for your buck.